A new crew, if you're new, my name is Cassandra. Today we are going to be putting together an emergency box. The reason we are doing this is I live in northeast Wisconsin. Twice in the last 11 months, my family has gone through an extended power outage. Through it once, you think it's a fluke. When you go through it twice in 11 months, it starts to feel kind of like an annual thing. So we're just gonna put together this emergency box. That way, when the power goes out, it's very easy, very simple, very quick. We can just grab the box. I can carry it from the basement upstairs and we can just kind of get on with life. We do have 2 generators for our property. One we use to run our house during a power outage, and the other one we use to run other outbuildings that we have that house either chicks or ducklings, which is what we had this year. Last year we were lucky and we didn't have to have the second generator. Our chickens were full grown. They don't need heat. They're good to go. However, this year we had chicks and ducklings, so we needed power out to our out to our outbuildings so we could keep them warm and alive. So that's what we use the second one for. I think a common misconception with having a generator is people think that your home runs like 100% like it would if you were on the grid. And that depends on the size of generator you have, the size of the home you have, all of those things. And we know now, going through this twice, what we like to hook up to the generator and what we like to keep off. One of those things that, well, 2 of the things that we like to keep off that probably surprises a lot of people are our stove and our oven. It just draws way too much power from the generator where we have to shut pretty much everything else off to run those things. So we prefer to cook on camp stoves or propane stoves or something like that. We'll talk about those in a little bit. The other one is our lights. We tend to keep them off during the day at least, because why do you need them on during the day? The sun is shining. Open up the curtains. And then once nighttime comes around, usually we'll turn on like 1 light in our main area just so that the kids can walk around and they're not tripping over things. If it were just Joe and myself, we would probably just do without the lights altogether, but we're going to talk about that. I got some things here today. So this is going to be our emergency box. I just wanted to make that clear because depending on your area, what kind of natural disaster you are prepping for or planning for, and if you have a generator or not is really going to determine what you want to put in your box, right? So this is just for ideas. I'm not an expert. I am not an expert. Let me put that out there. I'm not. I am just a mom trying to be more prepared moving into when this happens again. It's not really an if, it's a when. We are planning for ice storms, snowstorms, things like that. We do get the occasional tornado, but nothing like you see in like Tornado Alley or in the South, nothing like that. We don't get flooding. We just don't deal with those things where we live. So this shouldn't be a box that I need to like grab, put in the back of a car, load my family up and leave. Like, it's not that kind of a box. This box is more of a, we are hunkering down, we're staying where we're at, and we are going to push through the storm until we don't have to anymore box. So that being said, this is just I'm also going to add up all of the prices of every item that I'm putting in here for you guys, including this tote. That way you guys know exactly how much this cost for me to put together, whether I had them on my pantry shelf or around my house or not. I'm just going to add them to the price here. That way you guys can know kind of like how much this box cost for me to put together. So I got this tote from Sam's Club while I was on rollback recently. I think I paid like $8 for it. But inside this box, I did start to put some things in here. If you watched my once a month grocery haul, I bought a bunch of these like rice ready kits in different flavors and whatnot. Going through the power outage twice now, I know that I really wished I would have had some of these. I do live more of the homesteading lifestyle. If you are new, we do like to grow a lot of our own food and preserve a lot of our own food, can a lot of our own stuff. I have shelves and shelves of home canned items, so I'm not worried about stuffing this box full of days and days worth of food because I already do that in my day-to-day life. I have a year's worth of stuff up on my shelf. But when you can't cook from scratch, you can't cook like we normally do with like fresh breads and rolls and lots of like from scratch cooking, fresh pastas and things, it's nice to have these fallback items and we just cook real simple, real easy. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 of these rice packets in different flavors. I also have 4 of these like instant mashed potatoes. I got these because I didn't have any canned potatoes on my pantry shelf at the time of the power outage. So I was really kicking myself in the butt because it was something I had on my to-do list, was to can more potatoes, but I figured I would just wait until this fall when I had more like Homestead potatoes that we grew ourselves, and I would just make sure I canned more of them. Well, I want to make sure that I have some of those in this box just to push me through in case of a power outage. So I got 4 of those. The other thing that I put in here, I just pulled off of my long-term food storage, are a couple of these tuna packets. I have 4 of them here. I did check the Best By date on all of these products. Just for example, these tuna packets are good until October of 2026. So everything I'm putting in here is going to be good well into next year because they're processed, prepackaged foods. They have forever shelf lives, essentially, and I'll just make sure that once a year I'm kind of going through these, checking things and rotating through them as needed. So that's what I started in with these. The other thing that I did not have on my storage shelf or on my pantry shelf this go around that I had last time that I missed were paper plates and things. I usually keep these, I usually only buy these around the end of the year for all of my kids' birthdays and the holidays that I host. And if I have any extra, I just put them in a storage tote and I sit on them until the following year. Well, I didn't have any to sit on, any extra this year, so we didn't have any of these, which meant I was washing dishes through the power outage. Once again, the dishwasher is not something we choose to run. It takes up way too much energy, way too much strength off of the generator, and I just don't want to do it. So I hand wash dishes. We are a large family. That is a lot. It's a lot of dishes to hand wash, and having the convenience of throwing things in the dishwasher are so nice. So during the power outage, we will be using paper products. It's just easy. It's one less thing I have to worry about when we're making sure that the generators are topped off with gas, that all of the things are still happening around here that need to happen. So these are a really nice mama break for me during the power outage. So I got a 100-pack of plates and a 50-pack of bowls. I pulled a pack of these disinfectant wipes off of my pantry, like long-term food storage shelf. I buy these once or twice a year, and we don't use these very often because I make all of our cleaners here. We do have running water during the power outage because of the generator. That is something we run, but just in case I don't want to make homemade cleaners, or I don't know, something happens and I just want to have something easy. Easy is best when the power is out. I opted against like anything solar or anything like that. I just opted to do ones that run off of batteries, and I got a 4-pack. That way all of my kids can have one and we can set them up, run around. I decided to do things like this that will stand up. We can put them on our kitchen table, use them as lights, obviously, but this should be very helpful for us. And I'm kind of considering ordering another 4-pack of these and putting them in here, but we'll see how that goes. But the 4-pack is good enough of a start for me. I'm not saying that everything, I'm trying to have this box complete right now. I'm just saying that something is always better than nothing, and now that I've gone through this a couple times, I know the gaps that I really wanted to fill in, and that'll be a good one to go along with those lanterns. I do have batteries. I have AAAs and AA's in here. The other thing that I do want to add at some point in here are just like little handheld flashlights, maybe some headlamps in here as well, but we will kind of see how that goes. Like I said, I'm adding to this slowly but surely. I'm not adding any water in here. I keep 120 bottles of water on hand at all times now since the first power outage we went through. In reality, that is nothing for our large family. We can blow through that in just a couple of days, but it's just kind of like a backup thing that we will use while we're getting the generator up and running, or in case it takes a minute to get the generator up and running. We do have farm animals and all of those things as well, so in reality we need like gallons and gallons and gallons of water a day, so that's nothing. We are putting in rain catchment systems over the summer, and we are currently putting plans up to get water pumped into an outbuilding that we have. We're kind of trying to figure out if we want to completely build a whole new outbuilding that is like heated and plumbed and all of those things, and then it'll keep it hopefully pretty easy to have water in there, keep water in there, keep it from freezing, all of those things during the winter storms. And then that's just kind of what we're thinking. Anywho, the other thing we're keeping in here are these little green propane tanks. I have a handful of these I'm going to be putting in here. This is what our camp stove runs off of. We do keep like 25-pound big barrels of propane at all times for like our grills outside, and my standing dual propane stove, I pretty much only use that for canning, but it's been very nice to have during the power outages. So we always have propane. The other thing I want to get in here is a hose adapter for our propane stove to be able to hook up to the 25-pound tanks that we keep on hand at all times. That way, if my little tanks ever run out in the middle of a power outage or something, I can at least have the hose adapter and I can hook it onto a larger tank and not really have to worry about it as much. So that's something I want to add in here. I've looked them up. They're very cheap on Amazon. They're like under $10. So it's kind of like on my list. I'm gonna get it in here. It's just, once again, slowly adding the thing. Last thing I'm putting in here is our actual camp stove. This is a Weber camp stove. I can have this linked down below for you guys. Really easy, really great, simple, forward, to the point. The other thing that I did order that is going to be put in these boxes are some foil pans. A handful of you guys had told me during the last couple of videos I did during the power outage, because I cook on with my pots and pans on this cooktop. I don't like to cook directly on the cooktop. A lot of you guys suggested that I should just get some foil pans if I like to do that and put them on the camp stove. Things will cook faster, easier to heat up, all of those things. And you guys are very right. It was a very good suggestion. So I did order a couple of those in a couple different sizes. And those tinfoil pans will also be put into this tote once they arrive. They're just coming via shipping. So this goes in the tote as well. Other things that I think would do really well in here are just like some easy throw and go snacks. I do want to get those in here at some point. Just a handful of like, unfortunately, really processed, really crappy snacks that are full of nothing but nastiness. But easy snacks. During both of the power outages, they happened during a time when we had like no homemade snacks in the house, which does happen upon occasion, and it seems to always happen upon those occasions. So we end up relying on some of the like store-bought things that I store long-term, which is fine. But I just want to make sure that we have some of those in here for the kids 100%. I don't have to worry about it. And then once again, just like once a year, we'll go through and rotate those, and it won't be that big of a deal. But that's just not for today. So that is absolutely everything that I have right now for this long-term kind of storage box. I want to put this together because while we do keep a lot of things readily stocked here when it comes to food and preparedness and things like that, these are things that I just don't always have on hand, like some of those convenience foods, those packets, the paper plates, lanterns, which I didn't have before. Just kind of getting it started here. Of course, it's not complete, but it's better than what I had before, and it will be mighty convenient to have all in one spot, to be able to just go grab the power outage box, make sure that, you know, I don't have to be looking around, okay, is the propane stove in the garage attached to the house? Is it out in the shop? Did it get put in a different outbuilding? Like, where is it? So it's nice to not have to run around and search for those things while you're also trying to juggle a lot of little kids. The power's out, they're kind of freaked out. Husband is trying to get the generator hooked up. We're all trying to do our thing to get everybody back up and running. So it'll be really nice for me to just be able to go, all right, I'm gonna go downstairs and grab my power outage box, pull it upstairs, and I'm gonna be good to go. Not sure where my total is, but I'll put it up on the screen. I'm sure it is a somewhat decent number, a couple $100 at least of equipment and things and convenience in here. But like I said, we're not, you don't have to do it all at once. I'm sure I could go ahead and pull some things off of my pantry shelf to put in this box as well, some snacky things, a box of goldfish, stuff like that. But I store so much food all of the time. I'm not super worried about all of those things. So it was more for me about those paper products and the lanterns, the batteries, things like that. Something else that I think would be really good in here is maybe like a puzzle or some Play-Doh for your kids, colored pencils, coloring books, things like that they haven't seen before. Maybe even like some Lego sets, you find them on sale, you can put them in here. Things for your kids to do that will kind of distract them and whatnot and help keep them busy during a time where it can be maybe a little bit freaked out, you're scared a little bit, power's out for a couple days, and it'll just help keep their minds busy, and yours too as well. Something to do. Go ahead and work on a puzzle, some books maybe, something like that. That is my complete kind of emergency winter storm power outage kit. Not complete, but better than nothing. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today while we just kind of put together this box. Like I said, very transparently, wherever you live, whatever you're planning for and prepping for, your things could be very different. If you're in flooding, you know, you might want life jackets in here. You might want flotation devices, like waterproof lights, things like that. Your things are going to be very different than my things if you're prepping for a different area. So that being said, I hope that this video gets you to be a little bit more prepared, a little bit more prepped. I cannot tell you how many people have neighbors, family, friends, I have just seen, even people I don't know, just on like social media, that will stock all of these things. They scramble to get it when the power's out. The second the power's back on, they sell it for next to nothing on Facebook Marketplace. And then a couple months later, the power goes out again. We're out for a handful of days and they're scrambling again to get it all. Once you have it, just keep it. Just keep it and hope you never have to use it. That's how we got our second generator after the power outage that we had in 2024. People were selling them for next to nothing. We got like a $3,000 or $4,000 generator for $500 or $600 because people were just selling them, getting rid of them. It's a perfect time. You can buy your camp stoves, any of those expensive pieces of equipment, or those things that are a little bit more pricey. I plan on going to the Dollar Tree to get maybe some filler snacks to put in here, like we were talking about, some of those flashlights that we could keep in here. If you're looking for something fun for your kids, you could maybe even put in those glow stick necklaces. Just give them something fun. They would probably just find a kick out of that. I might actually put a package of those in here for my kids. But that being said, it's just an idea starter. I hope wherever you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope that you are safe, and of course I will see you guys in another video.